The latest episode of Pluribus just ended on a massive cliffhanger, and we now have to wait 9 days to see what happens next. You heard that right, a brand new episode of Pluribus, episode 5 is now out a few days early to get ahead of Thanksgiving, so if you have not seen that episode, favorite this and come back to it later. Something we really do have to remember while watching Pluribus, whether we have experience with Vince Gilligan or not, he is a man of process. Whether or not it's pouring a cup of coffee, walking to a grocery store, or figuring out an entire investigation like Carol did in this episode, he is going to show you beat by beat every single detail of that process. Hence why we got an entire episode that is essentially 99% of just Carol. And it was an episode that was extremely necessary because if the events of this episode did not take place, Carol would never be able to get to the point of truly figuring out what is going on. We pick up right where last week's episode left off as we see Zoja in the hospital still recovering from the events of that final moment as Carol is in the hospital waiting to find out what has happened to her. And we see that she has fallen asleep. And while she has fallen asleep, the entire hive mind is beginning to clear out of Albuquerque. Because of what Carol did to Zoja in last week's episode, we learn that she made the entire world cry and the hive mind now needs space from her. This decision isn't just meant to give us a little bit of a laugh. It's a very important detail we now know about the collective, as it is the first time throughout this entire show that we have seen a completely different side of them. Even though they do feel the way they do, we still see them wanting to do their absolute best to serve Carol and make her happy even with the lack of communication. But this decision gives Carol the freedom to do the full investigating that she really needed to do to try to uncover what the hell is going on. And this all began with Carol's recycling being a little bit more than 17 pounds and a drone not being able to pick it up and fly it away. This leads Carol to go and throw it away herself, which takes her to a recycling bin that is full of empty milk cartons. After finding that a little odd that the bin is just full of empty milk cartons, which I would as well, she discovers that they are actually coming from a factory that's in town. And because she's in full detective mode, she ends up going to the milk factory and discovers a couple of crows picking at a bag where she finds out that the substance inside the milk carton is a combination between an amber liquid and a powdery substance. Now, this moment with the crows could end up being a very crucial moment that I will get to here in a little bit. Because she's curious, she ends up taking the bag that has the powdery substance home and finds out that the barcode on it matches the barcode of a dog food bag at the grocery store. This takes her to another factory where that dog food comes from, and she enters a massive fridge where she finds all kinds of food, fruits, vegetables, and other things, but also what looks like bodies. And boom, the episode ends as she lifts one of those tarps. Now, we obviously have no idea what Carol is looking at. She could be looking at anything random, but if we take a couple of context clues from this episode and a couple of things we have seen throughout the season, it could lead to something very, very terrifying. Carol theorizes in the episode that they could be drinking this liquid out of the milk cartons to stay connected. Like, this is how the hive mind operates. But if we do go back to that final scene in the cold storage unit as she is walking around, and if she